American families will spend a record $24.9 billion this Easter. However, this spending surge comes at a moment when the wholesale prices for the core ingredients in those baskets, cocoa and eggs, are plummeting. For the last 2 years, the standard narrative has blamed inflation, West African weather, or the avian flu for high grocery bills. But those supply chain crises are largely over, and raw materials are piling up in warehouses. This chart shows the specific pressure of inelastic demand. The flat line represents our cultural commitment to holiday traditions, while prices step up aggressively because retailers know families will buy the goods regardless of the markup. This makes Easter a predictable window for a financial harvest, where the pressure of tradition is used to facilitate a massive transfer of consumer wealth. Last year, raw cocoa peaked at over $12,000 a ton. Since then, the market has seen a 65%. However, chocolate manufacturers don't buy cocoa the day they need it. They use the futures market to lock in supply months in advance, meaning chocolate in stores today was purchased when the raw material was at its most expensive. Once consumers accept an $8 price tag for a chocolate bunny, companies employ sticky pricing. They keep the retail cost high even as their input costs fall, often reducing the physical volume of the product at the same time. The raw cocoa in a typical milk chocolate egg accounts for only 10 to 20% of its retail price. The consumer is actually paying a premium for engineered foil, plastic trays, and decorative packaging. This lag in the commodity market provides a cover for corporations to permanently expand profit margins. At the meat counter, live lamb prices are approaching $5 a pound. This is a result of biological reality. Most lambs are born in the spring and simply are not ready for harvest by the time Easter arrives. This graph illustrates the industry's struggle. The red born bars spike massively in the spring, while the black slaughter bars remain flat. To meet holiday demand despite this domestic shortfall, the U.S. relies on imported frozen lamb legs. This creates a cycle called carcass balancing. The U.S. imports premium meat from New Zealand for the holiday roast, while simultaneously exporting low-value offal to foreign markets to keep the overall ledger in the black. The traditional family dinner is a logistical feat of global arbitrage, used to bypass the natural biological limitations of American farms. During the peak of the avian flu, American consumers absorbed an estimated $14.5 billion in extra costs as the egg supply plummeted. Since that crisis, the industry restocked its flocks to over 300 million hens and increased imports by 400%. This chart visualizes the resulting surplus. While supply has hit record highs, wholesale prices have collapsed to around 50 cents a dozen. Consumers bore the financial burden when the flu hit. Now that there is a massive glut, those wholesale savings are not being passed on to the shopper at the same speed. In this commodity cycle, the financial risk is shifted to the family budget, while the benefits of a surplus are retained by the producers. Sticky pricing, carcass balancing, and the systematic shifting of risk converge every spring, leveraging the emotional weight of a family tradition. The pattern is consistent. Shelf prices react instantly to a supply shortage, but they remain detached from the reality of the market when wholesale costs finally crash. The $24.9 billion spending record proves how effectively the retail sector can capture record revenue, even as the actual value of the products it sells begins to evaporate. Before you head to the store this year, look past the foil wrap to see the global arbitrage at work. Subscribe to the Viral Scope to decode the real mechanics of the global economy.